That's who she called, the people she wanted to defund. It's amazing how quickly you can go from these liberals who can't see anything anymore to, what'd you say? I'm calling the cops. Stiff workers out of overtime to launch his, I don't know, maybe 15th attack on me for making fun of him at the Oscars. Late-night comedians for giving illegal campaign contributions to the Democratic Party in the form of jokes and on-air satire. Me in. The report says at least 2 calls were made from the Trump White House to, quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues.
Are you tired of politicians who can't take a joke? Do you wish they'd focus on real issues instead of their hurt feelings? Well, you're not alone. Trump and MTG's lawsuit against Kimmel has sparked a national debate on free speech and political sensitivity. And before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video, but don't worry, we've got the solution. In this video, we'll break down the lawsuit, explore its implications, and even offer some tips on how to critique politicians without ending up in court. By the end, you'll be a certified expert in political humor, lawsuit free. It all started with a potato. Well, not a real potato, but a joke about one. Jimmy Kimmel compared Marjorie Taylor Greene to a potato head doll, and boy, did that spud hit the fan. MTG didn't just get mad, she went full Karen and threatened to call the Capitol Police.
ABC contacts my employer. This threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police.
Can you imagine that 911 call? Help, a late night host made fun of me. But wait, there's more. Like a moth to a flame, Trump couldn't resist joining the lawsuit party. I guess when you're not busy running a country, you have plenty of time to sue comedians. Trump's been the butt of Kimmel's jokes for years, and it seems he's finally had enough of being called President Karen and a fragile little snowflake.
States was so upset about my jokes that I made about him, he directed his staffers at the White House to call Disney.
Kimmel's been on a roll, serving up Trump roasts hotter than a Mar-a-Lago tanning bed. He's joked about everything from Trump's thin skin to his alleged affair with Stormy Daniels. It's like a comedy buffet, and Trump's the main course. Now, you might be thinking, can they really sue over jokes? Well, according to First Amendment experts, this lawsuit has about as much chance of succeeding as Trump does of winning a hairstyling competition.
Federal equal time rule to declare that anti-Trump material broadcast by Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and others was somehow illegal.
The law protects comedians when they make fun of public figures, which is great news for every late-night host in America. But here's the million-dollar question. What if they actually win? Imagine a world where every political joke needs to be approved by a team of lawyers. Stand-up comedians would need to bring their attorneys on stage.
Me in. The report says at least 2 calls were made from the Trump White House to, quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues.
Saturday Night Live would be replaced by Saturday Night Legal Consultations. It'd be about as fun as watching C-SPAN reruns on mute. Luckily, legal experts say this lawsuit is likely to get thrown out faster than a heckler at a comedy club. The Supreme Court has made it clear that public figures need to prove actual malice to win a defamation case. In other words, Trump and MTG would have to prove that Kimmel knew his jokes were false and told them anyway. Good luck with that. But don't break out the laugh track just yet. Even though this lawsuit is probably headed for the trash bin, the fallout is just beginning. This whole debacle has opened up a can of worms bigger than Trump's ego, and the consequences could be no laughing matter.
That's who she called, the people she wanted to defund. It's amazing how quickly you can go from these liberals who can't see anything anymore to, what'd you say? I'm calling the cops.
You know how they say laughter is the best medicine? Well, it turns out it might also be the best weapon against tyranny. But what happens when the jokesters get sued for their punchlines? Let's dive into a world where every political joke needs a lawyer's stamp of approval. Spoiler alert, it's about as fun as a Trump rally without the MAGA hats. Imagine turning on your TV for some late night laughs, only to find comedians nervously reading from pre-approved scripts. I'd like to make a joke about the president, but my lawyer says no. Hilarious, right? Wrong. This nightmare scenario isn't just about hurt feelings. It's about the very foundation of our democracy. Political satire has been keeping our leaders in check since before America was even a twinkle in George Washington's eye. It's like a built-in BS detector for democracy. When politicians can't handle a little ribbing, it's usually because they've got something to hide.
And repeatedly indicated demonstrated support for executing prominent Democratic politicians. Now she's dialing 911 because she got made fun of.
Remember when Trump couldn't take a joke about his tiny hands? Classic case of the orange turd doth protest too much. But here's the kicker. Countries with strong democracies tend to have more press freedom. Coincidence? I think not. It's like democracy and free speech are best buds, always hanging out together. When one suffers, the other gets a sympathy headache.
Stiff workers out of overtime to launch his, I don't know, maybe 15th attack on me for making fun of him at the Oscars.
Now, some grumpy politicians, looking at you, Donnie Diapers, want to put comedians in a chokehold. They're trying to sue the funny right out of them. But here's the thing, when comedians start self-censoring, we all lose. It's not just about missing out on a few laughs. It's about losing our ability to call out the powerful when they're acting like clowns.
The police and reported this. Not only did she call the police, called the same police she voted against giving a congressional gold medal to.
This isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel making potato head jokes. It's about preserving our right to poke fun at the people in charge. Because let's face it, sometimes laughter is the only thing keeping us from crying when we look at the state of politics. So what's next? Are we heading for a future where political campaigns are run by lawyers instead of campaign managers?
Late night comedians for giving illegal campaign contributions to the Democratic Party in the form of jokes and on-air satire. Person from the 14th District of Georgia is unhappy. She's specifically unhappy with me. She's had a tough couple of days.
Where debate moderators have to run every question by a legal team. Talk about a snooze fest. The fallout from this lawsuit madness is just beginning. And trust me, the public reaction is about to get wilder than Trump's hairdo in a windstorm. So stick around, folks, because in the world of politics, the joke might be on us if we're not careful. So here's the deal. When we can't laugh at our leaders, we're in trouble. It's like losing our political BS detector.
But cut out the part where he makes fun of me at the Oscars. Then he mashes out the message with his thumb nubs and hits.
George Carlin nailed it when he said comedians help us laugh when we'd rather cry. And boy, do we need that now more than ever.
I swear, I hear from Donald Trump more than I hear from most of my uncles. And the funniest part is, Trump thinks I don't like this. He thinks it's, but I love this.
But here's the good news. We can do something about it. Support the comedians who make you laugh. Share their jokes, watch their shows, buy their merch. Heck, you could even try telling a political joke yourself. Just maybe not to Trump or MTG. Remember, a country without humor is like a Trump rally without the MAGA hats. Boring and a little scary. So let's keep the jokes coming, because sometimes laughter is our best defense against the craziness of politics. After all, if we can't laugh at our leaders, the joke's on us.